Hello, everybody, and welcome to a session of Hate Snatching Mondays. If this is your first time here, I am Tanya Kabuya, and I'm a business coach and marketing strategist. And here we help online coaches, mentors, and creative entrepreneurs to create businesses that they love and no longer need an escape from so that they can be free. We are talking about your transition period, the transformation that needs to happen so that you can step into your growth, your season of growth and abundance. Now, if you don't follow me on any other platform, I recently, like today, I shared a piece on mindset on LinkedIn. It's with Digital Academy. You'll find the article on there, how your unconscious self could be holding you back from growing your business. And I wrote that piece this morning after a conversation that I had with my went some way that we needed to go so that she could experience growth because so many things she couldn't implement because we she hadn't yet done the mindset work. So this is why today I wanted to talk about why your transformation will not happen until you have changed your mindset. And when I mean mindset, I mean changing the limiting beliefs that you hold. It's interesting because I think for a whole lot of us, it's a very sensitive topic because what mindset is, I kind of go into depth in the article that I shared, the blog post that I shared. So if you kind of want to understand my view on mindset and why it is important to move your business, you want to check out that article. And today I just want to talk about how you can recognize that you have limiting beliefs so that you can do something about it and what are the symptoms of those limiting beliefs because they actually they show up every day, but unless you know what to look out for, you will not be able to make those changes. And why it is important that you do it now is most probably you are in a period of transition. And I think we've all experienced this period of transition. I think 2020 has been a period of transition for many of us. Many have left the 9 to 5. Others have started businesses. Others have started new careers. And you might be pivoting in your business. You might be pivoting in your life. And that is a period of transition. Even for myself, 2021 has been a real period of transition where I had to do the inner work so that I could show up as authentically as me. Right. So, how do you know that you have limiting beliefs? And this is important that you identify because the first step for growth, the first step for change, you need to become conscious of these limiting beliefs. It's kind of like when the Israelites left, according to the Bible, left Egypt to move into the land of Canaan, the land of milk and honey. And a lot of them, the first generation of them, couldn't enter into the promised land because they had mindset issues. They were still being held back by those beliefs, those sets of beliefs, and they kept running around and turning in circles within the desert. A journey that should have taken a few days ended up being a 40 years journey. Now, why the I like giving this example either when I'm in a coaching session or when I'm talking to you guys is because this actually the running in circle situation that happens a lot. If you do not do the mindset work to change your mindset, you will keep running in circles. It's kind of like until when you're at school and you have to write an exam and to move into the next grade. If you don't pass the exam, you can't get into the next grade. This is the reality. This is actually what mindset is. Until you do the changes with your mindset, you will not be able to move forward with it. All right. So now, how do you identify that you have mindset issues? Okay. Now, I made some notes so that I could completely share everything or some of it that I have time for, because I try to keep this conversation as short as possible. I can't go into everything into details, but this is an aspect that we go into when we are coaching, when we take you on as a coaching client. We don't only help you with the work of the strategies and the tactics and the principle of business. We also help you with mindset, because we understand that to move forward, you do have to work on your mindset. So, how do you identify that you have mindset issues? Are you often afraid of losing it all? You are constantly riddled by fear. I can't take this coaching program because now I'm gonna lose my money. I can't invest in this because, well, it's not safe to do any investment. I can't do ABC because you always have a reason as why you can't do anything. I don't have time. I can't. Coaches are liars. I can get all this for free. Well, let's open a bracket here. You've been getting all the information for free. How far that got you though? Okay. Uh Nothing here? Okay, great. We'll come back to this. Do you always have a reason why you can't do something? You come up with every reason under the sun as to why you cannot move forward. You probably know that you need the course, but you won't take it. You find a reason not to. You probably know you need the coaching, but you won't take it because you have a reason. But those reasons, when you look at them, are they really valid? Or are they actually just keeping you stuck in a certain situation and you are staying in that cycle? Because often those reasons are not reasons, they are not even a reality. It is primarily your subconscious self finding ways to make sure that you do not feel uncomfortable, that you do not face certain things, because that fear is often stemmed in the fear of disappointment, in the fear of failure. And then if you don't do anything about it, then you won't have to feel that you are failing. You won't have to feel that you are disappointed. Whereas when you are doing that, at the end of the day, what happens is that you still disappoint yourself and you still feel like you have failed or that you are failing yourself, and the cycle continues. So if you often find yourself in situations where you feel like that you are constantly scared of things going left, then you need to recognize that you are operating in a scarcity mindset. And scarcity mindset is a result of a set of belief, of limiting belief that you have inherently adopted. So, in order for you to move your business, to the next level, because at the end of the day, you cannot move into abundance if you are living in scarcity. You're going to have to reprogram your mindset. Now, number two, you have this inherent belief that it happens for others, but not for me. Everybody can get to it easily, but for me, it has to be hard. It is hard. It can work for everybody else. It cannot work for me. Well, everybody is making $10,000, but my reality says that I can't make $10,000. I need to only stick to making $2,000, $3,000 because people don't have money to buy anything for me. If you find yourself continuously thinking like this, you have to realize that there is a limiting belief there. You need to identify what it is so that you can work on it. Because unless you do, like I said previously, you will not move in a state of abundance. Now, number three is the favorite and the most common of them all: procrastination. You continuously procrastinate. In fact, when it is time to implement what you've been learning, even in your coaching program, even on YouTube for free, you have reasons not to implement. In fact, you will do the dishes 4 times a day to ensure that you don't implement. You will clean your house inside out to ensure that you don't implement. Everything else will come up so that you don't implement and you don't move forward. That is a limiting belief. It is a symptom of limiting beliefs because your subconscious self is stopping you to move, and you need to understand why. Why is your unconsciousness keeping you from moving forward? It may be that it doesn't want you to feel disappointment, it doesn't want you to feel failure, it doesn't want you to 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 feel something uncomfortable. And that is often associated with something that we have trained it to do. And that either is just programmed or will and or mind to behave in that way. So you want to identify what it is because you would be surprised at how far your unconsciousness would go to protect you. If you want the results that you seek for your coaching business, for your course creation business, for your consulting business, for your agency, well, there is no shortcut but doing the work. And when I mean doing the work, it's not only implementing the strategies, but doing the mindset work. Because as a man thinketh, that is what it is. So if you think that you're a failure, well, your subconscious self will ensure that the outcome of your life substantiate that inherent belief. I'll repeat that. If you think consciously, unconsciously, that you are a failure, your unconsciousness will ensure that the outcome that you receive substantiate that set of beliefs. So what are you thinking that you are? What do you tell yourself that you are? What is the story that you tell yourself? Because that also determines your outcomes. Let's go into number 4. It's one of my favorite, and this was actually me a while back. Is the fear of showing up authentically as you. Are you scared to show up as you? Do you fear that if you show up as yourself, people will not like you? If you show up as yourself, it will ruffle too many feathers. Let me imitate others. Let me portray myself as who people want me to be. Is that you? Because that was me. I shared the story in a podcast episode, YouTube video that is dropping on Thursday. And it explains my need to blend in. I so much wanted to blend in. And I explained the reason why in the video or the episode, wherever you watch it or you listen to it. And I didn't want to show up authentically as me because of that. I wanted to blend in. So I was denying who I am. I was denying showing up as me so that people will like me. I didn't want to ruffle the feathers. I didn't want to rock the boat. No, 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 Tanya. Rocking the boat makes it actually brings attention to you. If you rock the boat, people will notice you. And I didn't want to be noticed. I didn't want to be noticed because of trauma I experienced as a kid. Because I was bullied as a kid. So that trauma didn't want me. I felt like if I can blend in, I can be invisible. As a child, that's what I wanted. And that inherent belief had set itself in my mind. And that became a set of belief that Tanya, you need to blend in. And it started being, it was the way that I felt, it was the way that I showed up. And it was hurting my business. It was hurting my business because I wasn't being me. I was being a diluted version of Tanya. Today, that is not me because everybody that knows if you are in my community, whether you follow me online, I say what I say. I say what I say and I make no apologies about it. But at the time, that wasn't me. Oh, just it's not even that far. I think a year or so ago, that wasn't me. Tanya wanted to blend in. Because I so much wanted to blend in. I even priced my services as others were pricing me because I didn't want to be different. I was so lost with seeing that I was buried in the Me Too marketing because I didn't want to rock the boat because my inherent belief was that you need to blend in. Now, obviously, that has changed, but I'm asking you, is that a case for you? How are you showing up? Are you showing up truly as your best version, as your authentic version? Or are you showing up online as who you think people want to see? Do you want to, are you showing up as the version that you believe that people want and bearing who you really are? That is a question for you because if you are honest with yourself, then you will identify what are the reasons and you will be able to do something about it and do the work that it requires so that you can actually see the transformation that you seek. And the final one is a popular one, is comparison. The thief of joy. You are continuously comparing yourself with everybody else. Listen, the current chapter in my life cannot be your current chapter. In fact, my life cannot be a chapter of your life. Why? Because you are running your own race. Tanya is running her own race. And if anybody else there is running their own race. You need to stop comparing your real life to somebody's highlights. I show you what I want you to see. And everybody else does. You cannot keep comparing your current situation, your current chapter to somebody's highlights. Comparison is the thief of joy. It will take you nowhere and definitely will not take you where you want to be. Because the reality is, we are all dealing with our own demons, publicly and not publicly. We are dealing with our own demons. And you need to be aware of that. If you are continuously comparing yourself to other people, you need to start asking yourself why. Why do I choose to compare myself? Why are other people my measuring bar? When as a kid, in my family, the majority of us, of my family members are light skinned. And I'm brown, I'm one of the dark ones. And I had an issue with that. I had an issue with being brown skinned. And that permitted other aspects of my life. I continuously compared myself to girls that were light skinned, to girls that had longer hair. I wanted what they had. But then the reason why that was the case, I had my own family issues to deal with, my own family trauma to deal with. And when I did that, I changed that. I changed my frame of mind in regards to that. That changed my perspective. Now, this could be what you need to do. You need to identify why, and you need to do the work. And doing the work is not easy. Doing the mindset work is uncomfortable because you are going to have uncomfortable conversations with yourself. You are going to have to go where you didn't want to go. You are going to have to unbury things that you had buried so you could survive your coping mechanism. You are going to have to face those demons. You are going to have to face those memories. Are going to have to face those feelings. And that is uncomfortable as hell. I'm grateful at the time I had the help of a coach. And in my case, I will advise you to get a coach if you need to go to do the work when it comes to this. But as I leave you today, and if those 5 things that I mentioned, comparison, procrastination, what else did I mention? Not showing up authentically as you, being continuously afraid to make moves or to make decisions, and finally, feeling like it happens for everybody else but you, then you need to recognize that you have limiting sets of beliefs and you have to acknowledge that you need to do the work. As much as you can take the business coaching, you can learn the tactics, the strategies, the principles to grow your business. If you do not do the mindset work, you will keep running in circles. And you will end up blaming the coach, whereas it's not the coach at this point, but it is you. And sometimes it will show itself in the way that you do not even implement what you are learning because it's uncomfortable to grow. And uncomfortable, your subconscious self does not want you to be uncomfortable. And you will not do the work, you will not show up, you will not show up for your coaching sessions, you will not do anything because it wants to keep you where you currently are. So, on this note, as we wrap up this conversation of Age Snatching Monday, I want you to acknowledge if you know that you have these limiting beliefs and to create a plan to work on this. They can no longer be avoided. As we are walking into 2022, and you may be doing a lot of introspections and planning your year for 2022 and looking at everything that happened this year, I want you to have these uncomfortable conversations with yourself and make the plan to make the changes. On this note, thank you so much for watching, listening, stopping by. And I wish you well. I wish you prosperity. And I will say bye for now, and I'll see you next week, Monday, for another session of Age Snatching Monday. Bye bye.